Welcome back to the second video within Unit 6 for BTEC Business, Level 3. So I'll be covering topic B, which is a bit more depth on management and leadership styles and skills. Quite a short section this, so it shouldn't take too long. So B1 is management and leadership styles. So the four traditional classifications of leadership, which I'm sure you've heard of a lot of these before. Autocratic or authoritarian, they mean the same thing. Paternalistic, democratic or participative, again, they mean the same thing. Laissez-faire is the fourth one. So autocratic or authoritarian, this is the one that's all about like control and power, telling people what to do. Paternalistic, this is more of an open version of authoritarian. It's not a really kind, lovely type of management. It's just a slightly softer version of authoritarian. But you've still got that person sort of at the top being quite dominant in that situation. That's why it's kind of similar to sort of paternal, parental. Democratic, participative. So this is basically encouraging participation from people that work below you. So again, democratic, democracy, we're encouraging people to vote and encouraging people below us to get involved within the business. Laissez-faire, one of the most confused types of leadership, because some people think it's lazy leadership. It is 100% not lazy leadership. It is when the leader sets out the main objectives for what the business is going to achieve or what a team is going to achieve, but they allow creativity for those people below them to complete the task how they see fit. So a manager of a car sales place might say something like, look, you need to sell 20 cars this month, but I don't mind how you go about doing that. So they allow you freedom of how to complete the job. There's a couple more that you need to remember as well. Transformational and transactional, they are the same from topic A, so I've already gone through those. But just as a reminder, transformational, that's focusing in the longer term. Transactional is all about getting the job done. Charismatic style is another one as well. This is when someone pushes through boundaries and engages and motivates people based on the type of person that they are. So if you've got a really sort of charismatic sort of personality, this one might be sort of suitable for you. There's quite a few here. This is like the main 7 that are listed that I've just gone through with some pros and cons for each ones. I won't go through the pros and cons of each one. You can just pause the video now and just read through them in your own time. So what might affect your leadership style then? What's your own personal values like? Are you comfortable in being authoritarian? It's really difficult to fake a leadership style. So if you're naturally more laissez-faire, then it's going to be really hard to just pretend to be authoritarian. What's your experience like? If you're really inexperienced, it might be easier to be more laissez-faire, but if you're more experienced, it might be easier to be more authoritarian. How much confidence do you have in your subordinates? If you don't trust your subordinates, you might need to be authoritarian, but if you trust them, you might be more laissez-faire. Feelings of security, like do you feel secure in your role? A bit similar to manager's experience. Nature of the business problems, if the business is losing £1 million a week, you're not really going to have time to sort of like sit down and discuss things, and you need to really be authoritarian and make changes really quickly. What type of organization size and structure is it? If it's a huge worldwide business, you might need to be more authoritarian to get your point across. Effectiveness of teams and groups. Again, if people can work well in teams and groups, then you might be more laissez-faire. But if people can't in the business work in teams and groups effectively, maybe you need to be more authoritarian with them. Skills and experience of subordinates, kind of already touched on that before. But if they're really well skilled and they've got really strong experience, you might be more laissez-faire, less authoritarian. And also, again, a bit similar to nature of the business problems, but what's the pressure? How quickly do you have to change things? If you've got a quick turnaround on how you've got to change things, then you might want to pump for an authoritarian style. So when is each leadership style suitable? So authoritarian or autocratic when sort of quick decisions need to be made, maybe if there's an emergency going on within the business. Democratic or participative, if there's more of a creative situation that needs completing, maybe when teamwork is feeling important, maybe those sort of things. Paternalistic, when maybe employees feel like they're not being listened to, maybe if they haven't been responding to authoritarian because it's a slightly softer version of authoritarian. Laissez-faire might be suitable if you've got a really highly skilled workforce and they are already performing really well. Transactional, if you need to feel like you need to reward employees, maybe if you've got finances available to reward them. Transformational, when you feel like the business needs quite a dramatic change. charismatic when you are maybe a charismatic leader and you feel it might be suitable, and you feel like your subordinates might follow you. Okay, the next section is B2, which is management and leadership skills. And this is a really, really short section. It's just one slide. So each management and leadership style requires a set of skills. So these are some things that you might want to think about linking to all the different types of management and leadership. So first one is setting objectives, SMART objectives. And again, the diagram's in the bottom right for what SMART stands for. But basically, when you're in the business, you need to set your subordinates' objectives. So what are they completing when they're coming into work each day? What sort of things should they be completing? Motivating, how motivated are the employees? Do you need to motivate them further? Do you need to change your management and leadership style? Decision making, who's making the decisions within the business? Who's got the power, the responsibility? That's going to have an impact on what sort of leadership style you're going to be using. Do we need to build up team building? Do our employees struggle to work in teams? Do we need to, help them work in teams? Do we need to lead by example? Are our subordinates maybe, lacking some sort of figure there, and you need to really show that you're doing a good job so other people follow you. Consulting, so sometimes people need to come to you, they need to have a chat, you need to consult with them and discuss. Problem solving in business, lots of problems will crop up, and as a manager you need to have the skills to solve those problems. Valuing and supporting others, so sometimes employees can not feel very valued, so you need to value them and show that you support them. In business, conflicts will occur in teams. People disagree with each other, so you need to manage that conflict, resolve those conflicts. Building positive interpersonal relationships. So obviously, you're not trying to be their mates in the business because you're their manager and you're their leader, but you have to have positive relationships with them, so they maybe respect you, you respect them. There's a mutual agreement there. Using your emotional intelligence. If you've got subordinates come in the morning, maybe they're really upset. You're not going to start sort of barking orders at them and telling them what to do. You're going to be more use your emotional intelligence to sort of figure out what's going on, try and offer your support. Communication is just obviously really important when you're a manager, and also giving feedback. So giving that opportunity to give feedback to your subordinates to tell them what have you been doing well, what do you need to improve on. Pretty short video there for topic B. Thanks very much.